these 38 people, some of them we didn't know, but our particular group, I think it was just going to all the stops, it was just fantastic. It just made you feel like, it's a humbling experience. And we had so much of a laugh all the way through to Skegness. And yeah, when we got there, it was a little bit tiring. And this morning, I went for a little sort of bike ride, just
to stretch the muscles out, yeah.
Yeah, I can remember our buddy Jahan, who I think is an awesome rider. He said, look, you've got to go for a sort of a pre, after the event,
a post ride, yeah.
Just to keep it going, and that's what we did, and it was excellent, really, really good. I can't, there's not a lot of words that come out to describe what we did yesterday, and I think that has to be up there. Certainly compared to the mountain image, it was a lot easier than climbing the mountain.
See, I disagree, and I think this is it. It's a very different. So, just to give you, what I did today was I had football training, and I kind of joined in a little bit, thinking I wouldn't be able to move, and it wasn't so bad. But for me, the cycling was really, really tough, and it's probably just like a different group of muscles, isn't it? That you rely on.
With Arif, he trained for the last 5 months for it because he was cycling every day. So that was like Arif climbing 10 mountains, and then he went and he climbed 3.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Whereas with you probably had about 2 or 3 practice rides and then a 60-miler.
So what you're saying is my ride was more impressive than Arif's, basically, is what you're saying.
Of course.
What I'm saying is I think you underestimated the challenge. And,
that's probably more accurate.
You're feeling the effects of it.
One thing I would say about Arif, I don't know if you noticed this as well, Ishi, but Arif struggles a bit with junctions,
I don't know about that. I don't know where you got that from me.
Ishi, tell me, before we leave this, how much money has been raised in total?
I believe it is just over 20,000, but there are still donations coming in, and if people off the back of this want to donate, they can go on to Facebook and find me on Facebook, and the link is there.
Excellent. So, £20,000. I mean, you just said that like off the cuff. That's a huge amount of money. That's an incredible amount of money. I think you should be proud. We should all be proud. I think that's such an amazing achievement, and inshallah, that goes a long way to support the people in Yemen.
I think, Image, I'd just like to echo what you've just said. I think, Ishfaq Ali, I've known him since he was a little boy. Little baby, I remember him playing football with Shaz. He was up and coming then. He was a brilliant footballer. I think he lost his way a little bit, but this actually sport, he exceeded himself. He was top in organising such a large event. I think there was so much in the background that had to go down, like recovery vehicles, people who had to be picked up, food organisation, getting transport back. For one man to actually do that and have the support of a few others, that was excellent. And I think may Allah keep rewarding him for his hard work. To raise £20,000, over £20,000 in such a small, short period of time, was amazing.
Literally 3 weeks,
it
wasn't just down to me, Arif. We had yourself helping. We had Image. We had Uncle Ash, Shaz, Zaid. Safi, so there was a lot of people involved. Who drove the recovery van. We had
Yunus and Rif.
Absolutely, we had Qasim's family who donated money for the food. We had Sayed's Panini shop who gave 40 free sandwiches. I just rang them once, and he was like, "Okay, it's for charity, take them free." Brilliant. So the whole community come together on this event. It wasn't just me. As much as my name's getting put forward, there was a lot more than just me.
Taking in my cousin, he's humble as always, mashallah. He's humble as always.
Yeah, I think if the idea hadn't come forward and you hadn't done what you needed to do to get it to this stage, I think all of us supported you, but I think
the buck stops with you, innit? The buck stops with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it done. Absolutely. So that's on the line as well. We've managed to solve our technical issues. So that anything you want to ask, Ishi?
It's amazing. I don't think any words can put to justice to what's happened here with the community getting together. Like,
well, can we stop talking about Liverpool? Ask Ishi about the bike ride, innit?
So that, where were you? That's the first thing you need to answer.
I tell you what happened. So I told you I was inspired by Arif when he got the bike. I purchased the bike. I never spent so much money on a car than I did on this bike. And then he did one for it and said, "Yeah, we're doing our own ride. You do your own side of this road around Peterborough on my own, lonesome."
It's not like Arif to blank you, is it, that? It's not like him to do that.
He was going to take me out to meals and talk to me about this year's our year.
Ishi, just before you go, one last thing. What's next? This was fantastic. I think there's already pressure on you to do something else. You have to. I think there's a real appetite for it, and inshallah we can do something as good as this, if not even better. What are you planning?
To be honest with you, I'm just at the moment I'm just trying to recover mentally from the last few days, last 3 days or so. But there's loads of stuff we can do. There's some brothers who have already done London to Paris. We can go do that. We can do Peterborough to Great Yarmouth. But it's something that we need to sit down and work out logistically before we actually decide what we do next. But whatever it is, inshallah, with the help of everyone, it'll be bigger and better than the last one, because that was our first. So inshallah, they only get better from here.
Excellent. To all of our listeners, find Ishraq Ali on Facebook. Please go onto his page. He's got a link there. Click on the link. It's Just Giving. It's through Children of Adam. It's all charity registered. Get your gift aid in as well. And please do donate, because this really was a worthy project. Ishraq Ali, thank you so much for joining us, bro.
No problem. Just one last thing. Just a shout out to Children of Adam that are going to actually donate the money and get it out to the people in Yemen. So that's the most important thing, getting the money there.
Nice one. Yeah. Thank you, Ishraq. Nice one. Speak to you. Assalamu alaikum. Well, that was Ishraq Ali there, guys. Inspirational guy, inspirational project, and genuinely, I feel privileged to have been a part of it. It's a really, a really incredible project.
Absolutely.
Maybe we sit out with us next time. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's definitely coming. I
feel so left out, to be honest. Inshallah, I should push myself further, get in.
Okay. So just going back to the sports then, we talked about Liverpool and their fantastic achievement. Let's talk about Marcus Rashford, or should I say Dr. Marcus Rashford. Absolutely incredible. I mean, this is, I know sports is sports, and we've had a lockdown and a pandemic. I mean, he's helped. He didn't do it all, just like Ishi was saying, he didn't do it all, people came together, but he really promoted a project, and he really helped fund the project and got people interested in a project to feed children who are usually on free school meals throughout the pandemic, the lockdown period. And some people say he's helped to feed 3 million children, or he's helped to provide 3 million meals to children over the lockdown. Your thoughts on that, Sadat?
It's amazing, and it needs to be done more, to be honest, from more influential people. We say, there's others helping in the background. It's the same as Ishraq was saying, that others help in the background. But when people like Ishraq start it, or Rashford start it, and then people get behind them, If the person initiates and starts it, and then it gets everyone else behind them. And the same Rashford, he started it, and it got louder because it was Rashford. If yourself, me, or Eric from Salaam Radio shouted out about it, it wouldn't have got so loud.
Well,
so it's important.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something that you said there, which I find interesting, and I don't think I necessarily agree with it. You said that there's people in the public eye that probably need to do more of those kinds of people need to step forward and do this kind of stuff, and I think the idea is right, but surely they're filling a gap that our government should be.
It's not a replacement. It's not a replacement. But the thing is, while we have the opportunity, who can do it should also do it. We shouldn't also fall back on, well, it's the government's job. Let's not. But the fact is, and again, it's not physical share. If the government is falling short, I think people like Rashford and others need to step up. And
the open letter from Marcus Rashford to the Prime Minister saying, look,
that changed the opinion, didn't it?
Completely changed the opinion. I mean, he wrote an open letter saying, dear Boris Johnson, you need to make sure that these children who are on free school meals, given the current pandemic and the fact that people can't go out and work, they're going to probably be in need more than anyone else, and you need to continue with their free school meals throughout the summer holidays. And he made the government do a U-turn, and that's huge on his part. I mean, he's solely responsible for that. Genuinely something that we can all be proud of. I mean, he's a fantastic footballer for England. So yeah, we we waiting for that. He just happened to play for Manchester United as well. But even was it Gary? Even was it Jamie Carragher said, didn't he? Although he does play for Manchester United, what he's done here is amazing. It's brilliant. It's like sports. But I mean, those kinds of things you just can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it shows what quality.
Just not just that. I think we've got to also look at the fact that such a young footballer, he's got involved with a project to support 3 million, meals, and he's made a huge impact, and he's made the government change their decision, which, it's benefited so many people. So look, respect to the guy, and I think,
it personally affected him, didn't it? Because he went through that and he relied on free meals and things like that, as he put in his letter and his comments. But it was easy. It's easy for people to get to a certain, he's now multi-millionaire, whatever, how much he earns, and stuff, to just forget about it. Not forget, but, just go, I'm looking after myself, my family, and that's it. But no, he didn't. And that's what's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to shout out to Star Abdul Star, who's watching the show as well. Get your comments in, guys. Anything you want to say about how the lack of Salaam Sports on the air has impacted you personally? Because I know a lot of people have been really, really upset that we've not been on air. They've really missed us, and I'm sure you guys have heard similar comments. So it's really good.
I was doing private shows as well. I didn't want to tell you to, but I did private shows so people can listen to me, so they can be happy. Just to
we don't want to talk about your private shows, So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm completely shattered. But also, even though I'm completely shattered, we did manage to get some pre-season training in today. So pre-season is the latest guidelines from the FA. I'm sure our listeners in Luton will be interested as well. Latest guidelines from the FA have suggested that we can start pre-season in essentially from now, and pencil in some pre-season friendlies during August for hopefully a grassroots football season to begin in September. And that would be huge. I know there's a lot of parents really desperate to get their kids out playing football again, and it's been really difficult for them just to keep their kids entertained.
Cricket has also started, sorry to interrupt them, is that cricket again, that's also started with guidelines of ECB and stuff, and it's good that things have started, but I just want to say something that people still need to be careful. We don't want a second strike, and we've seen what's happening in Leicester. The table for Peterborough, we're going up higher as well with rates, so we do need to be careful when going out there. Be responsible. Whatever you do, shopping, football, cricket, anything, just look after yourselves. And
you make a great point. I think sometimes you can get complacent and almost just rely, verbatim on government guidelines when sometimes they are a little bit confused. So do take the precautions you need to. If your child is unwell, if they've got a fever, if they've got a cough, anything, even as an adult, if you've got that, please stay at home. But if you do feel like you are fit and healthy and you want to get your children back involved in sports, then, like you say, CC for Peterborough is back up. 28th of July is their first session back at Splash Lane in Castor. I think that's between 6 and 8 p.m. So do find them on Facebook and go there as well. And then, FC Peterborough will be back very, very soon, I'm sure.
Brilliant.
Just look out for communications on that on our Facebook page as well. It's been difficult, hasn't it? I mean, what's it been like for you, Arif? Just not just the lockdown, but also the lockdown of sports, even televised sports, and what's that been like for you?
I think it's been a difficult experience, especially the grassroots football not being played at the moment. And personally, if I didn't do the biking throughout the summer, I think throughout the last 3-4 months, then it would have been a difficult period for me. But I've had loads going on, so it's good to see sports back on TV. I think if you've looked at it, and especially in the last few weeks, people's mindsets have changed. It's helped them personally. For me, it's absolutely awesome that we're actually getting back to some sort of normality. And to see people being a bit more cheerful during this period.
So that,
and I think
it's good to be back, isn't it?
It's good to be back. Mine's slightly different in the sense that the only outing I had or mixing was the football that we did together.
Yeah.
That was me getting out with FC Peterborough and TCC. stuff like that, and I missed it a lot. You know, I still miss it.
Okay, well, we're out of time. We're going to have to pick it up again next week. But it really is good to be back, guys. Really, really glad that you could join us again. And inshallah, we'll be back on again next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
It's Qurbani time again. Who will you trust to fulfill this noble obligation? Each year, UKIM delivers the freshest and finest locally sourced meat to the most disadvantaged orphans, widows and families